What's up, everybody? We're live. It's happening. Are you still singing our theme song?
We're the Riffsters. It's a podcast and a web show.
Yeah. Okay, guys,
Who's
we're
that
live.
by? That's a catchy tune.
That's
Where can you find that?
Your main man, Volpe.
Boom.
Oh yeah, this
Right
guy
there.
right here.
On Spotify.
AKA Volpe.
This brain made
Yeah.
that song.
Yeah.
Well done.
What's up, guys? We're the Riffsters. The concept of our podcast is really simple.
Mhm.
We, every week, pick a conversation topic out of this little bowl we have, and we just discuss and riff. Thanks for joining us. This is a live podcast, so feel free to comment in. We are reading your comments, and we love to go on riffs based on your comments. So comment in.
Yes,
And
we will be reading them. I'm Derek, this guy.
I'm Julian.
And I'm Danalynnex.
So we're going to go ahead and pick a topic. Also, if the audio quality is weird, if it's lagging, if it's delayed, please comment in. It's the benefit of doing this live. We can fix it on the spot. I'm noticing it's a little choppy, so hopefully
Hopefully that's just on our end.
that's
and
I
not
like it. I
yours.
think it's charming. It's like 8-bit.
it's like 8-bit.
It's like 8-bit.
Let's choose a topic. Let's do it.
8-bit podcast instead of gaming. Okay, who wants
Okay,
to
shake
do
it up. I'm going to do the drum roll.
No,
And
you're gonna pick because you haven't been here the last 2 years.
That's
or
true.
2
podcasts.
episodes.
All right.
You haven't been here the last 2
2
years.
years.
Where have you been for the
I was
last 2
taking a
years?
nap, and I woke up and like, what year is it?
Derek took
It's been a
2
long
weeks
day.
off, so we...
What happened to my Beanie Babies?
This is his
Check
first-
eBay.
He's back now. So.
Okay, ready?
Yes.
Okay, our topic is, who is your childhood hero? Who is your childhood hero?
Sorry, I'm loading this up so we
Julian,
can...
you're
I'm just
so
trying to read comments.
professional.
We're also going to be we're also going to be typing in as we pick a conversation topic. We'll type it and pin that comment so that you guys can respond to it. As
Yeah,
well.
we want to hear what your answers are as well, and we want to rip off of those. So, who is our
childhood hero?
childhood hero?
I think I can start this.
Go ahead.
I was a huge Power Rangers fan,
That's a good one.
and I know that's exactly what you're going to say.
Yeah,
I liked the Red Ranger.
You did this the first podcast too,
I did.
where you totally it was what your evil villain plan. You
Mhm.
totally stole what would have been, so I had to come up with a whole.
Maybe that was my evil villain
It's
plan.
fine. All right.
Okay.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Red Ranger, Jason.
Was your childhood hero?
Yeah, but not as the Red Ranger. I didn't care for Red. I liked him when he was the Gold Zeo Ranger. Do you remember?
Yes.
Yeah.
In Power Rangers Zeo. Yes.
Mm.
That was
He
pretty
did.
cool.
He did karate. He was with a bunch of colorful friends fighting crime.
She hasn't watched Power Rangers, so the original Red Ranger.
Mhm.
He halfway through the series of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, which is the first series, he decided to go off, and like 3 of them left to go to a Unity conference in Europe.
Oh.
And so they brought in new Power Rangers, including someone you're very familiar with, Steve Cardenas Jr., the new Red Power Ranger who hit on Dana via Instagram. So
Oh yeah.
Which one is that?
That may be-
What color is he?
Rocky, you remember Rocky? He became the Blue Zeo Ranger.
Maybe don't say stuff like that.
Okay, wait, the
So-
OG?
Don't want to embarrass people.
The OG. And he's not
Yeah.
watching this.
Oh wait, yeah, no, the Blue Ranger is watching.
And if Steve Cardenas Jr. is watching, feel free to come on our podcast. Dana's right here.
Oh my
Yeah, I
god.
feel like-
Are you picking me out?
No!
Oh my god.
I think that he's one of those guys that you can see at Comic-Con or one of the cons that has a
Yeah.
little booth where he's selling autographs and photos, but no one's at the booth. Like, you don't have to wait at all.
Oh no.
Well, he's doing it to himself. It's more of an
Okay.
ego thing. He's
That's
more
true. That's
He's like,
true.
I'm going to hit on people, too.
Okay, we want to pin this comment. We're going to pin that.
In that comment.
There we go.
So answer in the comments
So
who your childhood hero is.
Yes, we wanna
Basically, mine was the Red Ranger because, well, it was the Red Ranger as the Gold Ranger. So it was later, it was a couple seasons later. Because he did karate.
Okay.
He was really athletic. He had a bunch of awesome friends in colorful suits fighting crime. He was a good leader. I feel like he was probably good at like sports and arts and crafts. That's probably off screen, but like behind the scenes probably.
Mm.
And as a child, I was just like, I gotta enroll into some karate.
Mm. Okay.
Oh, okay, I see. So it inspired you. That was one of the things that inspired you to
Yeah, I didn't do karate,
take up karate.
but I
'Cause
did
know-
do 6 martial arts after that.
For those of you who don't
That's
know,
pretty
Derek is big into martial arts.
Yes.
Okay, that's okay. That makes sense. I see how that ties
Yeah.
into your present.
Yeah.
Dana?
Oh, I'm next, huh? Well, this beautiful tattoo on my wrist, and I think and I hope that people can see. Why are you biting me?
This is fun.
My childhood hero was Xena Warrior Princess, and that happened to be one of the weapons that she would use constantly.
Mhm.
The reason she's my
What is it called?
Xena Warrior Princess?
No, the weapon.
Oh, it's called a chakram.
Chakra.
Where do you
So-
hold it? Because it's all a blade, right?
Yeah, it's just. I honestly. What was that?
That
is what I
seemed
imagined.
borderline
That's-
racist, but we'll take that at face value and continue.
Yes.
That's the sound I imagine she makes when she chakrams people.
I mean, it's close. It's but yeah. Anyway, it's
Also,
for real.
a little bit racist. Face value, continue.
Like that. All right, we're done.
Before you
Okay.
decapitate someone.
I don't know how you hold it, honestly. The inside isn't a blade, so she should somehow be able to but
let's say this.
it's like a frisbee,
if,
basically.
If you bought one, where would you hold it?
I would
if
just
you're
hold
gonna
it
use it for
on the
self-defense.
blade, not
On the blade?
like
Are you
where
wearing
it's
a
not
chainmail
sharp.
hand?
No.
Oh, there is.
Because it's flat. It's
Show
flat.
us.
Like right here, this part's flat. That's not a blade. Only the sides are the blade. So she can
Does
just
she
throw
chuck it, or does she say, "Don't come over here. I'm gonna hula hoop you"? And ooh,
No,
has she ever worn it as a hula hoop and just kind of?
It's too small.
No.
It literally hangs on her hip, and she mostly uses it like a boomerang, kind of. So the reason she's my childhood hero is because I had really bad insomnia as a kid, and they would play her really late at night. It was one of the very few things that was on, and I was obsessed with the female warrior back then. I always wanted to be a female
Played
warrior.
by none other than
myself.
no Lucy Lawless. Lucy Lawless.
Well, I was saying that I wanted to be a female warrior, so I was played by me. Anyway.
In the motion picture adaptation of Danalynnex's life, who would you want cast to play you?
Adaptation. Oh, I hate. Drives me nuts when people say adaptation. Adaptation.
He's a word grammar Nazi.
Yeah.
So yeah, she was
You're
one of the very
wrong.
few.
No apostrophe.
She's one of the very few female heroes out there back in the day.
Yeah.
At live action.
Yeah.
So I would watch it and be like, dude, this is what I want out of life. So yeah.
And you're pretty close.
Yeah.
You're pretty close.
As close as I could
Patrick
be.
Huckabee joined us and said, "Hey Dana, nice shirt."
Oh, why?
Why don't
Thank
you
you.
show off
Okay,
your lovely shirts
I'm
to
a
the
little bit
masses?
far, and I read, "Hey Dana, ice shit."
Shit.
I'm like, that's a weird thing to say.
You
but
know,
let's
that
continue.
really pupples my jigglies.
Puffles. You're puffled.
Yes.
That reminds
Very
me.
on
This is
brand.
completely, totally different, slight.
It's almost as if you're going on a riff.
Oh, yeah.
What?
Whoa.
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 When you
Hit
said
it.
ice shit, it reminded me of my friend Ryan, who probably will be watching this or listening to this later.
Yeah.
And she'll get a kick out of this. But one time we were talking about I'd asked her which male celebrity she thought were the most attractive, and she was
Ooh,
listing.
let's go on this.
She was listing off some, and yeah, we could go on.
We're
this.
gonna go on this.
She was listing some off, and then I mentioned oh, but what about Henry Cavill? And it was one of those things where I caught her in a truly genuine
Flustered?
moment. Yeah, where she was just oh shit on ice. I thought
that is what Patrick was saying.
Yeah.
Shit on ice.
Yeah.
Patrick saw his shirt and he was like, "Oh shit on ice."
Or did she do a little quiver? She's like, Henry Cavill.
Oh gosh, can we go on that too?
But it sounded like a musical. It was and coming to your community ice rink soon. Shit.
It's like
on
literally
ice.
coming to. But
The new show
would
for the makers of Spider-Man on ice. Shit on ice.
Huh.
Who would you have play you in a motion picture adaptation, motherfucker?
Adaptation.
Who would I
Of
pick to
your
play
life.
myself?
Mhm. Yeah.
Well,
And
I
age
would
doesn't
imagine.
matter. Age doesn't matter. You can choose whatever point of life you want.
What? I don't know. I would want Lucy Lawless when she was younger to play me, but she
Naturally.
looks nothing like me, nor she's like an Amazon in comparison to me.
Margot Robbie totally would play
Yeah.
you in
Oh yeah,
Big
Margot
one.
Robbie
Yeah,
would
big
totally.
one.
But the thing of it is Margot Robbie and I feel probably different personalities, and I don't know if she could quite get my quirkiness.
That's why
She
she
could
would accept
act.
the role.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she'd be an actor.
Yeah.
When they're interviewing later, when they're interviewing her about the part later, she'd be like, "Well, I really like, the
I'm
reason
Adele.
I know,
I
it's
talk
that's all
like
you can
Adele.
know. The reason I took the role, I can't do an Australian accent for crap. The reason I took the role was because I felt it was a genuine challenge. I've done Harley, but now I want to do Dana.
Holly.
That would actually
It's just
kind of
totally
be
British. I can't even.
That was
What
very British.
moment would you want her to live out? What would be a recreated moment?
Oh yeah, what part of your life?
What would be
What would be a scene that you would want from your life? Would it be a scene you would want recreated
Yeah.
in your film?
I have no idea. I have
You can
nothing
make it up.
interesting.
I don't think we're gonna fact check you. You'd be like, I won a gold medal for figure ice skating.
I
when
don't
was
know.
8.
She just that's a good question. I didn't expect this to go this way. Well, for one, it'd be super meta if she were to be the actress for me because I cosplay her. So that would be really weird. So what I would really want is for her to be acting as me, cosplaying as her.
Whoa.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
So without the screen accurate Harley Quinn, then it's like I'm not screen accurate, but doesn't matter.
exactly. Like she would be using my cosplay.
She'd be using like your cosplay to play Harley.
God.
But playing the way that Dana plays Harley, which is a little bit more cheeky.
And it's funny because,
God.
like, I'm super awkward in person. Like, I've had a couple, people who recognize me from Instagram come up to me, like, while I'm at a con or something, and I'm just not a very good, on-the-spot talker to people I don't know, because I don't know, I'm just very shy. And so it would be interesting to see her not pretend to be Harley Quinn, but try to be me and be like,
hey, Dana, and you're like, no.
I try to be as nice as possible because I'm so flattered that people come up to me, but I'm just like, hi, hi.
That would be. We just stumbled onto that would totally be something that someone like Kevin Smith or somebody, if he was like making a movie and he got a celebrity to cameo, that would be an amazing idea to have a celebrity cameo as a cosplaying the character that they are.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, Kevin, hey, Margot?
Imagine he's... Because he used to work with Ben Affleck all the time. Ben Affleck used to be in a lot of his... Imagine if he got Ben Affleck to come to one of his movies to play an old, aging, grizzled, middle-aged, fat dude cosplaying Batman in a terrible Batman costume.
Oh my God.
Amazing would that be?
And the entire time Ben Affleck is just this super nerdy...
Just totally
Does Ben Affleck exist in this universe? So, for instance, could this Ben Affleck playing as not screen accurate Batman be posing next to a cutout of Batfleck?
Yes. So he would be,
that's great.
And everyone would tell him, has anyone ever told you look a lot like Ben Affleck, just fatter?
Oh, it's like the Kevin Bacon commercial.
Yeah.
It's like, people tell me I look like Kevin Bacon.
Oh, dude, that's such a good idea.
If I watch any more Kevin Bacon, I'll actually turn into Kevin Bacon.
Kevin Smith, I hope you're watching. We're going to tag you in the comments. Actually, can we tag him in the comments and say we came up with a great... Can you do that? Can you tag his page?
I'm going to try.
We're going to tag Kevin Smith in the comments
and
see if maybe he'll come join because...
I'm going to tag Kevin Bacon first.
Kevin Bacon.
Kevin Bacon's going to get this notification out of the billions of notifications that he gets, and he's going to be like, this seems interesting.
Just say, we came up with a great idea for a movie, for one of your future films. Guys, if you're just tuning in, we've gone on a significant riff at this point. So we've really lived up to the title of our podcast at this point. But the original question was who is your childhood hero? But we went off on a tangent on that, and kind of now what we're exploring is who would play you in the movie of your life, why, and what scene from your life would you want recreated?
But before we go any further, I need to know who would be playing your guys' lives.
Oh, mine's easy.
Wait, can we guess?
Sure.
Can we guess?
Okay, we'll go ahead and guess.
Are you guessing who you think I'm going to say?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait,
let me make sure I have who I'm going to say.
Wait, are you going to guess who I'm going to guess who you're going to guess?
It's just this episode is just meta.
Okay, I know who it would be, and just because I have a feeling I might know where you're going to go with your guess. It's not. I'm being realistic about someone who actually does look like me and would.
CGI, man.
Does the person have to actually completely look like you, though? Because you know how there's some adaptations that, they don't... I know. I say it that way, too. It's fine.
Tom Hanks doesn't look like Walt Disney, but they made him look like
Walt Disney.
Exactly,
that's what I'm saying. So the person I have in my head for you matches more your personality, or at least, your quirks, than...
That's fine. You guys can tell me.
Let me guess.
And I'll tell you who I would pick.
Okay. To play Julian Bomani, it is Robert Downey Jr.
I knew
he's wearing a very short pink kimono. The opening shot is him staring out a floor-to-ceiling glass window of his Siberian compound with a katana strapped to his back,
they don't have
a bearskin rug, and he's just looking I cannot stress how short this kimono is, wearing a kimono and nothing else. And that is a future scene that Julian will be doing, and there's going to be a voiceover that says, I bet you're wondering how I got here. Let me tell you my tale.
Okay, so
it goes back to actual Julian.
Backstory on why he just said that.
For context, I've always, I guess not really joked, but semi-joked, that my dream in life is to achieve enough wealth and freedom wherein I will have a house overlooking a snowy winter landscape with a giant glass window in my room with a polar bear skin rug and a fire blazing, and I'll be wearing a beautiful orange kimono.
It was red at one point.
It was red. I switched to.
I think there's.
I don't know where the katana came from. I think that's.
No, you definitely said you're gonna strap the katana on your back.
Katana, but that's my. That's actually a good question.
Based on a true story.
What is the if you could, because that's a very specific moment that I framed almost on my mental wall of I want to live that moment at some point in the future. If you could come up with a suitably ridiculous moment, an extravagant moment that you would want to live in the future, what would it be?
Okay, but first we're going to not be ADD for 2 seconds and come back to that.
I know, man. We're riffing hard. What were we?
Yeah.
Oh, you said Robert. Okay, you said Robert.
So I'm going to tell you who I think should play you.
Go ahead.
And I think it should be Grant Gustin.
Ooh.
Because I think that he has that charming, because you're very charming, and so, I know. He doesn't have a dissimilar look from you. And I think that, he has a great singing voice. So do you. I just feel like you guys have a lot in common. And so even though he may not necessarily completely look like you, he could easily, be made up to.
Did you know that Grant Gustin played a reoccurring role as a high school villain in the reboot of 90210?
He was a...
Oh, really?
He was also a villain. He, blackmailed
I watched 90210. I don't remember his part.
Yeah, it was 6 episodes.
Oh, snap.
Yeah.
He was also on Glee.
Was he?
I actually really I think I like your choice better now.
Oh, I want to hear yours though.
Yeah, but what was your choice?
I was gonna say, I was gonna say Adam Levine, and then I just now changed it to Andrew Garfield because I still feel like I look a lot.
I'm so glad you don't. You do not look like Andrew Garfield at all.
You're better looking than Andrew Garfield.
Andrew Garfield
I look
is
at him
a
and I'm like,
you guys are
you're a weenie.
Stop it.
I don't think Andrew Garfield is attractive at all, and. He's like the garbage bin, bargain version of you.
Okay, alright. This is getting
pretty good at acting.
He's a great actor. I just don't think he's attractive.
Scrap them all. I think I like...
Yeah.
Grant Gustin's a really
I like Grant Gustin. I think I would take that one.
Would that be the younger Robert Downey Jr. that he then
flashbacks to? Let me tell you my tale.
Alright, Derek.
So wait, do you guys have it locked and loaded for who you would pick for me?
I don't actually.
I think there's a clear answer. Well, there's two.
I have the answer, and you've already not liked
don't
this
say
in the past.
Choose someone else.
I can't though.
Okay, choose someone else.
Why can't you?
Do you remember Knights of Badassdom?
Oh, she's gonna say.
What's his name? I can't remember his name.
Yeah.
Have any of you seen Knights of Badassdom? It's on Netflix. He looks just like the Dungeon Master.
He's also he's the McCoy in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Crap.
If I were to grow a nice unibrow, have incest my brother, and wear a shower robe and nothing else, then I would closely resemble.
So who would you pick? I have no answers. I don't know.
You have zero answers.
I can't think of anyone. No.
You look just like him.
Tom Hardy.
Tom
Oh,
Hardy
okay.
would be an older Derek, or Matt Damon would be an alternate version of Derek, an older version of Derek that did more of business with his life, and less Tom Hardy would be more blue collar, real suave.
You would see yourself as a British guy.
Trent says, I feel like Shia LaBeouf would be me, and he'd be lounging in a deck chair next to a pool.
About 20 years from now, with the phone
on the phone with Julian about doing music for my next film.
I like it. And what would be the plot to your next film, though? Important. Write that back, Trent.
Yes. What would be the plot for your next film?
Hey, William's here.
It's my friend Will.
Hi, Will.
This is Jack Nicholson.
Jack Nicholson.
That's a good one.
That'd be pretty good.
You guys don't know him, but that's.
No, I know Jack Nicholson.
No, but you don't know
we don't know Will.
Obviously.
Okay.
Okay, wait. What would be your ridiculous life situation that you'd want to achieve later in life?
Oh, that's so easy. I would want to be in a nice, flowy white dress thingy, and then I want to be standing on top of a pyramid, overlooking Cairo.
On the point?
On the very top of the
pyramid. Great Pyramid.
Oh, yeah.
So basically, you want to be that scene in Jumper with Hayden Christensen.
Oh my God! Ever since I saw Jumper and I saw that scene, it's all I ever wanted in life. Was just I wanted to be able to teleport and just stand on top of the pyramid and be like, I have achieved the greatest human success.
You've achieved
of being on top of
greatness.
And then when I die, I would love if people would someone would cremate me. Or mummify me, that would be cool too, and then somehow sneak my ashes or body into the pyramid. So.
Into the great. Well, could we make a little sandcastle pyramid? Just
no.
Put it in because that'd be
you could take my
us.
ashes and spread it on top of this is really morbid. Sorry. You could spread it on top of the pyramids, and I would in the afterlife be like, thanks guys, thank you.
Guys.
That thanks. Yeah. Maybe leave like a gold coin to help me through the 12 gates.
Would it be 2 gold coins over your eyes?
That's Greek.
For the
Trent commented back the plot of his movie. The plot would be Derek and I working as a CIA duo trying to keep Dana from taking over the world.
Well, the good point is we know that she would go for mind control. So it's like, however you stop mind control, if it's like an EMP or something, we already have a leg up, Trent.
In case if you didn't know, this is in a previous podcast. We talked about what kind of evil villain we would be. It's our very first one.
All of Dana's take over the world plans involve like step 1, something reasonable. Step 2, something that leans off of that. Step 3, mind control. And she skips the entire middle
She's
part
like,
about how she
step
develops.
1, work at an adoption shelter. Step 2, acquire 600 cats. We're like, all right,
But
you could
guys,
probably do
feasible.
that. Step
Guys.
6, mind control.
I'm only telling you the big plot points of those steps because I don't want people to know my evil plans.
Yeah, that means
And how to sort them.
that's code for I haven't thought of them.
That reminds me of the Office episode where they're interviewing a replacement for Michael Scott.
Yeah.
And one of the characters comes in and says, I have a 3-pronged plan to save this company. And then Jim's like, all right, what's the plan? And he said, I'll give you step 2 of part 3 of the plan, color code said documents. She's like, what? But like, so like, as ridiculous as that is, you're always going to look at that guy and be like, what the fuck was his plan? Like, how could he be doing this better?
Maybe my plan was to make people wonder about my plan.
Until she
That seems like
buys
a
time.
I know.
bad plan. Yeah. What's your ridiculous life scenario that you would be trying to achieve?
It'd be me accepting the Nobel Peace Prize award, smirking, alternate timeline, accepting the Dictator of the World award, played by a different actor. Surprisingly, Tom Hardy would be the good guy in the end, and Matt Damon, who would also be me, be the bad guy. But they'd be dressed like very, like, you wouldn't assume that would be so, and that's the big plot twist that I just spoiled right now. 20 years in the future.
Well, now you can't
You
make
mean
that
the
movie.
past.
Or I can. People are going to be waiting.
All 3 people that are watching this
I've waited
podcast.
20
I was gonna
years
say.
for this film. Where's Tom? Tom died? Oh.
Oh gosh! All
Okay,
right,
wait. I want to let me trace back. I feel like
we
we're.
riffed a lot there.
I know. I feel like we're in the movie.
Childhood hero. We
Yeah,
got
I feel,
Jason from Power Rangers, who is not the blue Power Ranger. And then we have Xena Warrior Princess, the one who holds the dangerous hula hoop that would probably cut your hands.
I was say I feel like we're in Inception, where we're in the final, like we're 4 dream levels.
We
in.
can go deeper.
Yeah, we're tracing back to the original dream level.
Yeah.
I don't think I didn't share mine. Right?
You did not.
Childhood hero. That's
And
because
keep
you
it
guys
Oh,
yourself.
you never
Keep
did.
it
That's
yourself.
right.
Yeah,
Oh my
because-
gosh, we never even got to the first question.
Just don't tell anyone.
Just, and don't share it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And tune in next time.
All right, mine's gonna get a little sentimental. It's not as like fun of an answer, but
Bummer.
there.
Yeah.
But I guess we're there.
Suddenly we lost all of our watchers.
Let's take a
'cause
short
3-0.
walk around
Yeah.
instead of the long one.
There was I used to draw a lot as a kid, and there was an artist. Like I used to look up to a lot of artists. I was on DeviantArt for a while,
Ooh.
and there was a guy who, when I first got on, his handle was Adonis, and then he eventually changed it to his real name, which is Dan Levisi. And he's pretty popular. Like a lot of people know who he is now. He's a really popular artist, and he came out with this amazing book called Last Man Standing, which you guys should check that out. It's really cool. But anyway, he was like if I'm thinking of someone realistically that I was looking up to that wasn't like a celebrity or someone ridiculous, he was the guy, because I would sit there and draw my painting. You know, I'd be painting in Photoshop all day, and I'd look at it and be like, this is so good, and then I'd go look at his stuff and I'd be like, crap, this sucks. But I'm going to do better next time, and then I would, you know. So I always used his stuff as inspiration, and I would just be sitting there like waiting for his new art to come out, and then his videos where he would show you how he made it. I was just like glued to the screen. I watched him like every day. So that's
He like prints out his art, and you put like a piece of computer paper over it, and bring it to a window, and just like trace it.
Yeah.
And frame it, and put Julian Bomani on the side. Be like, Mom, look what I did.
I'd put Dan Levisi, Julian Bomani.
Oh, are you serious?
Dash Abraham Lincoln.
No, it's a joke from The Office. In The Office, Michael Scott writes, "You miss 100% of the shots you never take." Wayne Gretzky, Michael Scott. Like retweeted by Michael Scott.
Nice.
That's a pretty good one.
I like that.
That's really good.
Should we jump into another
I think we're ready for another question.
question?
Yeah.
I think we each answered each one of our subsequent tangent
Yeah.
riffs.
A drum roll.
Oh, I'm picking now.
we're ready to type it to our 2 live viewers.
All right.
All right. What's your favorite quote and why?
Ooh, shit.
I can start if you guys need a minute.
Sure. Yeah, go for it.
All right. So, my favorite quote was by Confucius, actually.
Confucius say.
Confucius said, "Man who stick dick in peanut butter is fucking nuts."
This is getting a little racist. No.
Let that sit for a while.
I always really liked that saying. By the way, I thought it was really clever. No.
I didn't say it. Confucius said it, so that thanks
sure.
was from Confucius.
Anyway, my favorite quote is, "Our greatest glory is not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall."
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
I like it.
I feel like life has a lot of ups and downs, and that quote has always stuck with me through the good times and the very bad, because I'm like, okay, like, well, I'll rise every time I fall. Like, I'll come out of this. Like, I don't know. It's just always something that really made me feel, I guess, at peace
That's good.
with life. Yeah, no
Well,
matter how rough.
it's very apt for your persona.
Yeah, it is.
I feel like that fits your sense of resilience, and not that people know you like that well through the internet, but she's a very resilient person. So I feel like that's very apt for you.
It's a nice one.
Have you guys thought of your quote?
I have hundreds.
Mm.
And I'll start with the number 1.
Now that you asked, scroll bounces off table.
I'm just thinking of like the first one that pops into my head.
Yeah.
And this isn't my favorite, but this is my favorite of right now.
Mm.
That is, kindness is free, sprinkle that shit everywhere.
Mm.
Which means, to me, if you're in line, if you're at Starbucks and you're in line and you give your order, it's easy to say, "I'll have one grande, non-fat, non-whip mochaccino."
Okay.
Is that real?
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're like, "Yeah, that's a real thing. I can enter that in the computer." And then you can say, like, "Here's, the currency," and then you just leave. Or you could say, "Hey, I really like your name tag," or like,
Yeah.
or something more personal than that. Or like, "You guys are working really hard. Like, I've been there, and that you guys are killing it." Or
something
like
you all should
handwriting.
know is Derek is extremely kind to strangers. Like almost like more than most people. Like I would say I'm kind, but I don't go out of my way necessarily to always like let somebody know something. And like he will like randomly like come up to somebody and be like, this was really great. And I'm like, you know what? It was really great. He complimented this person. And I was just thinking it in my head, but he actually said it. That's insane.
Thank you. Well, kindness is free, and so
yeah.
If it's the exact same interaction, 15-second interaction to order your Starbucks, why not make their day?
Yeah.
Or why not try to? Or why not like put some positivity in the world? And you can infinitely spread that, kind of like lighting a little candle.
Reminds me of one of the I don't know if it's a quote, but kind of like a mantra that I always liked was they were like, is people say, be kind, or
be kind, rewind.
Be kind.
Rewind.
Yeah.
That was Blockbusters.
Yeah. They said that, like, a true measure of, I'm paraphrasing, but a true measure of someone's character is how they treat people when no one's watching.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
I always like that one because that's like you never know who is who. And like you hear those stories about like someone met like crossed paths with someone in the hallway and they helped them out. That person turned out to be the CEO of the company. You never know.
On the reverse, though, I saw this image on Reddit that was really powerful. It was of an apple that was completely gold, and you're like, wow, that's a very enticing, attractive apple. And it was like gilded in gold, right? And then they cut it in the cross section. The core was all rotten, and it says appearance and then personality. And so it's like it's all about what's inside. And if no one is watching, if there's no witnesses, you can really tell about someone's character. Exactly
Oh, absolutely.
Well, it's like you never know. You never know who. I'm of the opinion you should just be nice to everyone that you cross paths with in life because you also
no
never
matter
know,
who you are.
You also never know. You also never know who someone's going to become. You know, it's because like not that, and I'm not saying that as far as like use them as like for personal gain later. It's just like you never know who will end up where, and why not treat everybody great so that maybe you have a chance to connect with them and do something awesome down the road.
And you've never known. Everyone has a story. Everyone's been through shit. Everyone's overcome shit. Everyone has dreams and fears and something they are chasing, pursuing, loving, being resilient towards, or getting over, whatever. And so, if everyone's fighting such a great battle, why treat them like an NPC?
Yeah, absolutely. I've seen both sides where I've seen people who treat others kindly and they have nothing. These people that are very kind to others, they almost have nothing. And then I've seen people with a lot of something that just, like, think of at VidCon, there was this very viral video of this Instagram kid who was treating a security guard like absolute shite. I mean, he was just an awful human being. So this made... Oh yeah, somebody took a video of this kid treating this the security officer like, crazy. And so, funny story, and this is why you should always treat people kindly, because this kid was on videotape and he didn't know he was being videotaped. That officer, that security officer, now has more Instagram followers than that little shithead kid. Yeah,
I would unfollow him.
People did unfollow him.
Definitely.
A lot of people. Like, he only had like 20K followers, which was just nothing on Instagram these days.
Nobody.
So it's like, if he was treating this other guy as if he was this godly Instagram model who deserved all of the adoration of all the plebes below him.
It's the golden apple rotten core.
That reminds me of there's one of my favorite commercials, and I don't remember what company it was for, but it was a great commercial where like someone was like walking through a city, and then they see someone like hold the door for someone else, and like you see them see it, and then you follow that person, and then they're going, and then it's like then they have an opportunity to do something nice for they like let someone go in front of them in the grocery store, and someone else sees that, and then we follow that person, and it goes through like 10 people's.
I wrote a poem about it. It was called Ripples.
Oh, you did. Yeah.
I
I love that concept, because you never know, like. Just doing something like leaving someone a really nice tip at a restaurant, or saying thank you, or like complimenting someone on something they're wearing if they're serving you, or do like if your cashier at the grocery store.
There really is a ripple effect, though,
you never
negative or positive. Because I've also seen the negative side where one person treats another person terribly, and then their day is ruined. So then they continually and it just completely ripples forward until the very last person.
I think it's kindness ripples, and every smile a drop in the ocean that carries love within its ripples.
Oh, that's nice.
Is that from your poem?
I think so. It's like, to paraphrase my own work.
Yeah.
I'd say like that quote Derek Kohler comma, I think.
I
think. You're right though, because the negativity spirals as well. Yeah, I didn't think
because
about that.
I was a waitress like right after high school, like trying to come up with some money to go through college and everything, and I remember all of the negative tables that I would serve, and like I would try not to be mad at them because I knew that they were already upset because somebody else had ruined their day. And I was trying to be empathetic. Still angry that they were treating me terribly because I was not somebody that they even knew. But like I would try to hold in that anger because I didn't want to then have that ripple effect where then I treated somebody terribly. And it didn't always work. Obviously,
it's like
we're all human.
Breaking the chain of screaming, maybe.
But I tried because like I don't like people who yell or like are mean, or I don't like negativity, and I don't like to put that out there. So I would just like look at these people like, oh, please don't treat me this way. I don't want to treat somebody else this way.
Yeah.
Like, and so it was just like this constant cycle. And anyone who's still waitressing or a waiter out there, like I feel you. That is a hard job, or any serving job for that matter.
Yeah. And that's why I walk up to them and say, hey, I like your button.
It goes a really long way.
Yeah,
it really does, because I remember the people that were kind to me as well. Like the ones that were really kind to me. Like you could tell, like I like the people with manners. Like those were always like pleasant, but it's the people who truly like reached out to be kind to you.
Yeah.
And like the ways like even like you will do. Like I'm just like, wow, thank you so much. That one little bit of kindness saved my entire day.
I love that. So kindness is free. Sprinkle that shit everywhere. That is my quote. Julian,
guys,
what is your quote?
Apologies. I think we're cutting out a lot here. If we're cutting out, please let us know. I'm noticing it a lot on our playback, which is why I'm kind of trying to fix it. So it looks to me like we're getting really choppy and cutting out. Hopefully you can still hear us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
My quote is can you look it up for me?
Sure.
It's look up. I know who it's by, and I know the word. It's
okay.
Albert Camus. Camus.
Mm-hmm. Would you
type in Albert Camus Winter?
Okay. In the depth, is that one?
That's almost it. But yeah, type in Winter.
Oh.
In the midst of wait.
Right. Okay.
Why did you?
There it is.
So it's in the midst of winter, I found there was within me an invincible summer, and that makes me happy, for it says that no matter how hard the world pushes against me, within me there's something stronger, something better pushing right back.
Oh. Okay, so let's delve into what exactly this means. So okay, hold on, let me.
So it says in the midst of winter. So like when the world is treating you coldly, basically.
Yeah.
Within me, there's an invincible summer. A summer that'll
this
never
is kind of like my theory.
What theory?
Remember my theory about everyone has a little candle or a flame?
Oh yeah, we have talked about this.
That kind of reminds me a little bit because like I go ahead and talk about the quote a little bit, and then we can talk about my theory after.
No, I mean it's quote is self-explanatory. It's just I just like it because it's like because I'm the kind of person that is like I draw a lot of strength from myself internally, and I'm always like whatever's happening outwardly I can handle it, and I have created anchors for myself that allow me to bank on myself in any situation, so that I know I can always handle things because I have me to fall back on. And I've like aligned myself with.
In the vein of in the winter, there was some summer, some radiating heat that comes from cold. I think there's nothing more pure than taking a crappy day or something, or like a lot of shit, or when life throws you lemons or whatever, and just turning some of the crap into kindness, turning winter into gold. Yeah, like that's the most noble thing you can do.
Yeah. I mean, there's definitely somewhere in that you don't want to like bottle up negative feelings because like that could just come out worse later. But like for me, what I was gonna say, my theory about everyone has like an internal flame of some sort. Some people burn brighter than others. That's just I've noticed some people have like great passions for things and like they have a big boisterous like lust for life. Whereas other people, like, not that nobody like has a lust for life necessarily, but there are some flames differ.
Yeah.
And basically, like you guys have said, like I'm resilient, and I would consider myself one of those people. Not because I have an ego or anything like that. That's not what I'm saying. I have a big wildfire, I suppose, within me, where I have met people who don't quite have that same passion.
Maybe it flickers, but it can always get bigger, and maybe sometimes at times it gets smaller.
It does, absolutely. And I think every single person is capable of both, and everybody has that little bit of flame. Sometimes you just need something to kindle that fire, whatever that passion is, or whatever that fuel is for you. But I like that quote because it reminds me a lot of that theory.
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, you're right. Because I know we've talked about that. You're right. It totally is reminiscent of what we've talked about the flames.
Yeah.
I think we have time to pull one more topic. If you guys are
sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Sure. Okay, it is your turn to pick.
It is my turn to pick.
That kind of did the Price is Right, like
yeah.
like hit the dollar.
What is something bizarre that you collect?
Ooh.
Can I start this? I have something
locked and loaded. Pin that comment. Hey, Lupo joined. Shout out to Lupo.
Lupo!
Hey. Oh my gosh, I can't believe she's here.
She gets to watch us be idiots.
Yes.
It's always fun for us when our friends join our podcast and watch us live.
Lupo's the best.
Real quick,
Lupo is the brightest. Like, she has such a wildfire. She is such a bright light.
That's true. She has no idea what we were just talking about.
She has a bright personality.
But her smile radiates in a room and lights it up.
It really does.
Okay, I was going to start it off. So the question, again, what is something bizarre that you collect? And I'm going to start off by saying something weird that my mom collects.
Ooh.
My mom collects unopened boxes of Kleenex tissue.
What?
This is weird. But it started with, we were in some like drugstore or something, and she saw this beautiful box of Kleenex that had a bunch of multicolored flowers.
Yeah.
She thought, this is really bright. This could go great on a coffee table, like as a functional box of tissues. She'd opened that, and it was part of a limited collection. And so whenever she went, she would look for that specific box of flowers with color. And they never made that again. And she got maybe 15 of those, and she just kind of stockpiled them. And then there was an edition with a bunch of people, which is like cartoon people, very colorful. And she collected those because she thought, they were only on shelves for a month, the flowers, I have to collect the people.
Yeah.
And now any bright colors she collects, and she has this like closet of a bunch of like unopened tissue boxes. Yeah. When I was at university, I'd come home and I'd say, hey, can I like bring a box of tissues? And she said, I don't have any to spare. You can't have any. So I was buying my own. And so whenever
oh my god, this makes so much sense now.
Whenever I was in like a Target or something, and like still do, like I have text message where I've texted her, but whenever I'm in a Target or something, I go through the Kleenex aisle and I look at like the different ones. And have never found the flower again, but I've found some colorful ones. And that is something that she collects.
Oh my gosh, this explains so much about him, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's amazing.
Okay, so for those of you who don't know, Derek collects many odd things as well, including coffee table books.
Yes.
Yes.
Coffee table books,
That's not
coffee
that bizarre.
table coasters.
I think it's pretty bizarre. Like,
Anything that can go on this
It's
oddity of a
pretty bizarre.
bookshelf.
I know, I said it wrong. Well, sorry, continue.
She's like, I think it's pretty bizarre.
I search
Whatever.
for bizarre items at bazaars. Anything, like, I love my bookshelf and I love my coffee table. So any, like, odd books that I can have, or coasters from places I've collected, or when I was younger, this sounds really weird, and I didn't collect them so much as whenever I was in a store, I'd go and look at the aisle and just, like, maybe there's some cool ones. Maybe I had, like, 3 boxes at a time. You know the Band-Aids with, like, Ninja Turtles on them?
Oh my gosh.
You know, like, the Band-Aids with, like,
That's
different
kinda cool.
characters on them? I would get, like, bumped and bruised and cut a lot as a kid, and so it'd be, you know, sweet to have the Ninja Turtles on your knee or something.
Yeah.
And so I'd save my own
Sweet.
money, and I'd be, like, 6 years old, and I'd be, like, spending my money on, like, Pez dispensers and, like, name brand Ninja Turtle Band-Aids.
Name brand. Name brand.
We're talking
designer
Band-Aid.
Ninja Turtles Band-Aids.
Yeah.
I guess I have 2 answers. One from when I was a kid, one that's current.
Okay.
As a kid, I used to collect Mr. Potato Head variations. This was like before Funko Pops were really big, because Mr. Potato Head would release branded.
Like
Oh, really?
Yoda, Darth
Yeah,
Vader.
I did not know
I
that.
had a Darth Vader one. I had an Optimus Prime one.
Ooh.
I had like a bunch of
Your
different. I had a
favorite?
Stormtrooper one.
Oh, wow.
I always really liked the Optimus Prime one. That was my favorite one.
Interesting.
They had an Iron Man one. I wanted to get that one. So that was like I used to collect those a lot as a kid. Now I collect everything and anything Green Ranger memorabilia.
Yeah, you
like
do.
Original Green Ranger from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers memorabilia.
That's cool.
Trent Toffee says I collect Happy Meal toys.
That's
I
actually
like
a
that.
really
I
good
like
one.
that.
That's a really good one. That's a
really,
very
really good one.
They had the Beanie Baby collection.
They
Oh,
did.
yeah, they did.
That was a while ago. That was
I did
really
as a
good.
kid.
And he also collects wooden trains.
That's pretty cool, too.
Like, would it be the trains that go on a universal track? Or, Trent, you can answer this. Or is it you collect wooden trains on different tracks?
I know for me, like, I don't think any of my, like, collections have ever been, like, necessarily weird. Like, I have my nerdy collection now, but, like, when I was a kid, I liked collecting treasure chests. Like, little mini ones. And I had
How
one
many?
really big one.
Like how-
they could be, like, this small, like,
Yeah.
like really tiny, like, they could fit in your palm of your hand. And, like, the biggest one I have is, like, a legit, like, treasure chest. But I don't know what it is about them. Like, I'm such a cat.
Well, I guess
oh my
it's
god,
this.
guys!
What
I
kind of
just had,
treasures did you keep in there?
hold on,
Like, little
I
rings?
just had a revelation. I am such a cat
just-
because I love boxes.
Yep.
I love boxes so much.
It all comes full circle.
Yes, it really does. Oh my, I just like, and this has been since I was really little. My grandma and grandpa like gave me my first, like, because they noticed I was obsessed with these things. Like, there was one like little, like, it wasn't really a treasure chest, but it was like a chest in my grandpa's garage, and I would always go out into the garage even though they told me not to because I wanted to go touch it. Like, I don't know why, I just wanted it
What was
so
in there?
bad. Nothing.
Oh,
There
it
was
was empty?
nothing. It was just empty.
Oh,
I just
okay.
wanted it.
That's
so
way less exciting than it could
I
have
was
been.
such a little weirdo as a kid. No, like, I was the kind
Like,
of kid.
don't go in there. Like, your grandpa doesn't want you seeing that. And it's like a little trunk.
Yeah, I was.
You're trying to
that's
get in
exa-
there.
They had no idea why I kept doing this. In fact, when my grandpa passed, my grandma gave it to me to
Oh,
keep
nice.
because it was his.
Yeah.
But it's so weird because like I was the little kid that would go outside and like go play with this toad that would live in the backyard of my grandma and grandpa. So like they just thought I was the weirdest freaking
You'd
kid.
probably put him in one of your chests.
Yeah, no, I left him
I'm gonna
alone.
keep this right here.
But they eventually, for one of my birthdays, I think I was like maybe 5 or 6, they bought me this big old wooden treasure chest that I still
Nice.
have in my parents' house. And you asked what I put
What
in
do
those.
you put in it?
So that was my other thing that I collected a lot, which isn't that weird, I don't think. I collected rocks. Like any cool looking rock. And
Big,
yeah.
small, like,
And
like
they would usually be
were they
pretty
smooth?
tiny.
Or
They're
they-
all types of rocks. So I have like lava rocks. I have like little riverbed rocks. Basically, wherever I would travel, I would take a little tiny rock. And I know you're really not supposed to do that. But most of the time, it wasn't in a state park.
Yeah.
But even if it was, I still took a rock. So sorry.
I like that.
I actually really, really like that. It
Yeah.
reminds me of the scene in Saving Private Ryan where one of the soldiers collects sand from every country he's fought in.
Yeah, that's
And
what-
it's just like
yeah.
he has like one labeled France and Italy
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah.
Africa, and
Yeah.
so like it's very cool that you have a little part of all the places you've been.
Yeah.
And
I didn't label them though. They're just all in a treasure chest together.
That's kind of like people who collect snow globes from, or like shot
Mhm.
glasses from
Yeah.
places too.
Because I always wanted to be an archaeologist as a kid, so or a geologist too. I would flip between the two, and I something about the rocks and them having a history that we don't know was so cool to me, because I was like, we don't know if 1,000 years ago a freaking saber-toothed tiger also touched this exact same rock. I mean, most likely not, but it's just cool to think that this has been here much longer than I was, and will be here long after me.
Yeah, it's definitely seen some shit though.
Exactly.
I'm that way with sand. When you think of sand, it's just it was a part of some big rock or mineral, and it's been eroded.
Yeah.
And I think about what was here before that. For every grain of sand, you have a handful, and there's maybe 100,000 grains in your hand, and each one of these was a great rock.
Exactly.
Who was it? Was I talking to you? I can't remember who I was talking about, but just recently I was talking about something similar to this in terms of someone was talking about cities and how cities are.
Derek was talking about it.
Was that you saying that? About
how
cities are
and I really
tapestries
love
of human creation that will
so
live.
Explain that to the
that
audience.
existed before and
Yeah.
Explain that to the audience.
You can go for it. You can go for it.
I think the gist of what you were saying was that cities are these amazing, almost living entities that are an amalgamation of everyone that's come before, and they will far outlast everyone that's there.
It's a tapestry that, if you look at some Italian cities that have been there for 2,000 years, and you think each person has, let's say, 80 years to make an impact. They can change the buildings, they can change the structure, the color, they can add art, they can change a little bit, but it's a little bit of a plea to Father Time that's saying, I'm going to readjust this brick, and it's been here before me, and it'll be here after me, but I'm going to leave a little imprint on this city.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of beautiful. It's just a living tapestry
absolutely.
of kind of human footprints.
I really think that's beautiful, and that's exactly how I feel about the rocks, or I really, I said in the beginning, I really want to go to Egypt really bad for the same reason. That's been here for a really long time.
The history that those pyramids have seen.
Yes, and they'll be here long after we're gone.
I love it.
I think that's
unless you're on the very top, and then maybe you just push over a keystone and it's just
But then I'm the end of their story, and that's awesome.
Oh, you would be historic. Yeah.
I think that's I think it's a beautifully sentimental note to end on.
Yeah,
as
I think so.
We're coming up against time here. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. If you joined us live, if you're watching this after the fact later on, it'll be posted to YouTube and Facebook as well. If you're watching it after, thanks for joining us then, and join us live every Monday. We're a little late today, but usually we do this around 7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. 7:30.
Submit your questions, too.
Yeah.
We can add them to our Chest O questions.
Yeah, if you have conversation topics for us, please submit those.
Absolutely. Please give us some questions.
This has been
Danalynnex.
I'm Julian, a.k.a. Volpe Music.
I'm Derek, a.k.a. Derek Kohler.
And we're the Riffsters, and as is customary, we're going to sign off with an impromptu
sign-off phrase. Let's do this. Well, instead of the phrase, let's do... You remember that episode of The Office where they just sign off by all waving at the camera awkwardly?
Yes, we're doing that.
I want to do the phrase thing because we gotta
have
a hook.
Okay.
So Dana will go first. 3,
Why am I always the first one?
1, go.
I hate being first.
That was terrible. Derek, 3, 2, 1.
Be kind. Rewind.
Okay, somebody count me down.
3,
1, 2, 3.
1.
Remember, if you can't catch the monkey, you can't have the bananas. And that, folks.
You always do something like
monkey
that.
see, monkey do, monkey pee.
Think on that. Think on that Chinese wisdom.
Jigglypuff.
Jigglypuff. See you next Monday, guys.